Two men. Two philosophies. Two choices. One decision. You decide.
Well, hello, my name is Kent Hovind. I taught high school science for 15 years, and now since 1989 I've been an evangelist and I travel and speak on creation versus evolution. It is my great privilege to do debates at universities against the people who believe in evolution. Now, this debate you're about to watch, I debated Dr. Pigliucci. This is my second time to debate him. Each time we've had a debate there were problems with the camera, the microphone, something went wrong. This debate was taped by two different cameras, one on just VHS and one on digital. The problem was the digital camera had a problem with the audio and the VHS camera had a problem with the video, so we ended up doing the best we could from the two tapes of splicing them together. You will find times throughout here where the quality is not very good, and I apologize for that. I'm sorry, we did not tape it at all. Somebody else taped it for us and sent us the tapes, so we can't take the blame for this, but we really think the material was offered was worth having, so that's why we've put this into our debate series. Dr. Pigliucci is from Italy. It's very difficult to understand sometimes, and you may have to play his section a few times to understand what he's saying. He talks fast with a thick Italian accent, plus does not keep the microphone very well in front of his face, so we apologize for that also. Anyway, I've offered to debate him again. I'll take on the whole UT science faculty at the same time with half my brain tied behind my back. We hope you enjoyed this debate. If you have any questions afterwards, please don't hesitate to call. Our website is drdino.com, or you can call our office 850-479-DINO. If you have some professors in your school that would like to have a debate, I do many debates and will fly up at my expense and debate any number of professors at the same time. And that ought to help raise a crowd. Generally, there's over 1,000 people that come to these things. The room will be packed, I assure you, if you want to have a debate at your university. Count me in. I'd love to do it. Thank you so much.
Biology. His research is on evolution of genotype-environment interactions, i.e. the nature-nurture problem. He received his doctorate in genetics at the University of Ferrara in Italy and his PhD in botany from the University of Connecticut. He's currently working on a PhD in philosophy at the University of Tennessee. He's published 47 technical papers and 2 books on evolutionary biology. Dr. Pigliucci has been awarded several times the Oak Ridge National Labs Award for Excellence in Research and has won the prestigious Botany Prize from the Society for the Study of Evolution. As a skeptic, he's published in national magazines such as Skeptic and Skeptical Inquirer. He's given lectures for many humanist and free thought groups around the country and has debated several creationists, including Dwayne Gish and Kent Hovind. He produces a monthly e-column called Rationally Speaking and has authored Tales of the Rationalist, skeptical essays about nature and science, available in the lobby. His most recent, some of his selected skeptic publications include Bioscience, Skeptical Inquirer, and one title in particular to point out, A Case Against God, Science and the Falsifiability Question in Theology. Dr. Kent Hovind is considered by many to be one of the leading authorities on science in the Bible, and he's dedicated to the proclamation of factual scientific evidence that supports the biblical record of creation. His seminars, he writes, have caused even the most devout evolutionists to sit up and take notice. He's a 15-year veteran high school science teacher, and his love for science sparked his interest in creation versus evolution. He saw the need for exposing evolution as a dangerous religious worldview and for arming Christians with scientific evidence that there are no contradictions between true science and the Bible. In response to these needs, shortly after finishing his PhD in education, he began a full-time ministry of creation science and evangelism. Since its beginning in 1989, his ministry has continued to grow, and and he speaks over 700 times each year in public and private schools, churches, university debates, and on radio and television broadcasts. His humorous, fast-paced, illustrated seminars provide documented evidence against the unscientific theory of evolution. The information presented concerning dinosaurs in the Bible and the few that are still alive today reflects his study in the field of cryptozoology. His goal is to strengthen faith of believers and to confound and convict the evolutionists and to win the lost Christ. He offers $250,000 to anyone with real scientific evidence for evolution. He lives in Pensacola, Florida with his wife Jo and 2 of their 3 children. The 3rd child, Eric, also lives in Pensacola and speaks on creation. The format tonight will be fairly simple and straightforward. Each speaker will be given 30 minutes, and there will be no interruptions from audience or one speaker to the other at that time. And we've already decided who will go first. That's Dr. Petrucci. And since it was a football day, naturally we had to flip a coin to decide who would go first. After that, we'll have a short break. We'll gather written questions. You should have received some pieces of paper as you wandered in. You'll find some folks posted in each aisle during the break, so be sure they get the questions. They'll deliver them to me, and we'll start sorting them at that time. Then, when we regather, 2 15-minute rebuttals from each side, and then the series of question and answer. During the Q&A, each person, the person to whom the question is directed will be given 2 minutes to respond to the question. The other person will be given 1 minute for rebuttal. Okay, Dr. Petrucci.
Thank you, Dr. Carter. Thanks, everyone, for coming here. Let me tell you a couple things about what I would like to do tonight. One thing that I'm not interested in doing is in convincing anybody that there is no God. This is not that kind of debate. We're talking about science tonight. The other thing that I would like to do, on the other hand, is to tell you what evolution actually is about, because there's a lot of misconception on this particular topic. And so, during my opening statement, essentially I will give you a very brief evolution 101 so that we're clear on what we're talking about. Of course, there is not enough time to give you a full course in evolutionary biology, so I have to leave out a lot of stuff, and I will focus on 2 or 3 major examples to give you a flavor of what evolutionary biologists actually do and what they're talking about. And in the rebuttal part, I will address my opponent specific points when they come up. Incidentally, given that Mr. Hammond here has debated hundreds of times, apparently, if there is anybody here that has a habit of cheering for the underdog, that would be me this time. Okay, so what is it evolution is and is not? Let me give you a roadmap of what I'm going to be telling you in the next few minutes. That is useful, I think, to understand the evolution-creation debate. First of all, evolution is defined in a couple of different ways, and it's not defined the way creation is defined. The way a professional biologist defines evolution is either one of these 2. One, it's a change in gene frequencies. So a change in the frequencies of the genetic constitution of an organism constitutes evolution. It's the simplest definition of evolution. Or, the more complicated definition of evolution, and actually the one that Darwin gave originally, is the central modification. That is, evolution is about change in organisms that are related to each other to some extent. Contrary to what most creationists think, evolution is not, it's got anything to do with the origin of life, and we'll get to that in a few minutes. And evolution also has got nothing to do with the origin of the universe. Those are 2 distinct scientific, these are scientific questions. I'm not denying that they are scientific questions, they're just not evolutionary questions. And also, one of the tenets of evolutionary biology is that the explanation of for the diversity of life on Earth, which is what we're interested in here tonight, does not require intelligent design. That does not mean that there is no God, which is why I said a minute ago that I'm not going to convince anybody about